pill. You stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Hey guys, almost died there. Hey guys, welcome to Dark Arts Podcast. Listen, we're talking to you guys about week 5. Yes, the guilt call or the guilt text, whichever one. She's back in contact with you. Is it because she actually genuinely is interested, or is it because she feels guilty? I mean, she ignored you, she disrespected you, she was rude, she was unaccountable, she was all these particular things, and yet she's contacting you after probably weeks or days of no contact. How do you handle it like a man? Let me tell you something. You don't want to fail this test. Now, I think I may have failed it slightly. And so I want to be able to help you make sure that you don't do the very same things as well. Okay? You think it's all over, and then she ghosted you. She disrespected you, she flaked, and when you expected her to show up, she didn't. So you moved on. You left it alone. You did your own thing. And now she's all the way back. The phone rings out of nowhere. And I can tell you this for a fact. That's exactly what happened to me. Now, going back to my story that I've been telling you for the last 4 weeks, a couple of weeks after we hadn't spoken, she actually called me. She wanted me to explain the voice note that I'd sent to her. I'd sent her a voice note letting her know that I was not really happy about the way that things went. I felt she was unaccountable at certain things and etc. etc. But I kept it true. I wasn't rude. I said I would understand if she has a different point of view, but I wanted to make sure she knew where I stood. I was very firm, very direct, but very calm about it. So she reached out. Now, in my head, I said to myself, you do know that she's reaching out, and it's nothing to do with her actually trying to clear up things. And actually, I found that out from the very first statement she made when we picked up the phone call, which I'll tell you in a few minutes. Look, I want you to understand that women are going to test you. They're going to test you to see, have they still got access to you? Have they still got access to your emotions? Have they still got access to your resources? Okay, right? They mistreated you. They treated you badly. But look and listen, this phone call isn't about you. It is about them assuaging their own guilt of the way they treated you. If you weren't the worst in return, if you didn't treat them, if you weren't necessarily toxic or anything bad like that, then they're probably going to reach out to you and be like, they want to say sorry. But it's not for you, it's for them. They feel that weight and that guilt. Okay. Now, in my particular case, she actually dropped a comment which was, hey, I've been thinking about you. That's the reason why I wanted to call you. Right now, you might have heard something different. You might have heard, I just wanted to explain myself a little bit better, or I felt bad about how things ended. So I'm reaching out to you. Whatever the reason is, they are going to put it on the table. But the reality is, only by action will you know if they're actually being genuinely interested in trying to rekindle something or whether they are dragging you along. And more than likely, they're probably dragging you along. Now, it might seem genuine in that particular pursuit, but the real reason she's calling again is the guilt and the control, and to see if she still has access to you. When a woman reaches back out to you after disappearing, it's often not about fixing things. It's about managing her actual own feelings. And instead of taking accountability, she waits. She lets time pass, hoping that you're going to be different, hoping that when she comes back, that you can just be like, it's all hunky dory, that you'll let her in without actually holding her accountable or addressing the main issues that actually brought the separation in the very first place. She learns that she can treat you anyhow when you don't want to address the actual issue. Have you changed? The universe has given you a second chance. In my head, God has given you a second chance. The good old Holy Spirit and Jesus giving you a second chance to actually change the narrative. This isn't a reconnection. It's a test. A test to see if you'll fold like a lawn chair in Alabama. And if you accept her excuses, and if she still has emotional control over you, she wins. Okay. So back to my story once more again. When she did call, the very first thing that she actually mentioned in the call was that I said to her, she said to her, "What did you say in the voice note?" And I said, "Did you not listen to it?" She said, "Oh yeah, but you know what? Like my head was all over the place. I didn't really get to listen to it. So why are we calling then?" But you know what? I said, "You know what? I got no problems. I'll explain it to you because I'm ready to let you know what it is, right?" But right there and then, that very first comment should have let me know she's not here for genuine interest. She's not here because she wants to have a genuine connection, even though she offered an olive branch of friendship. And my foolish self, I took it on board. Because you know me, I was being gullible once more. I'm in a new space where I'm not trying to be the bastard anymore. But you can't not be the bastard anymore and go the complete opposite way where you're now being gullible. I was being gullible. And as I said, I failed the test because when she offered the olive branch, the actions that followed after, the weeks after, did not correspond with her saying she wanted to build a friendship. It did not. Am I angry? No. It's a lesson to learn. We take the L's not as a loss, but as a lesson. Okay. And I want you to learn those same lessons too, just in case you end up being in that same position. Okay. So she hasn't changed her respect for you. Okay. All right. She's just testing the attention and the pull that she might have over you. Now, the best way to see if she really is changing is what she actually says in that text or in that phone call. Okay. The key to recognizing between guilt driven contact and genuine interest is that if she says she's truly sorry, she acknowledges the mistakes without excuses, without trying to fold the universe on itself 100 million times like origami. Can she acknowledge where she went wrong? Can she acknowledge her particular wrongs? If she's just checking her control over you, she'll be vague, indirect, and defensive. Just like my situation, when she first started the phone call, she still didn't even realize to even listen to the VN. She just wanted to what? Talk. Well, if you listen to the VN, you could have come and explained yourself, but you wanted me to explain it on the phone. That showed a distinct level of disdain and a little bit of disrespect. And actually, really and truly, I should have never had that phone call any longer than that. I should have said, well, until you listen to it, we ain't talking. Now, the Christian in me wanted to do better, but hey, we all live and we all learn. Okay. What response will work for the situation? Especially what I gave to you, an example, right? But what example works best is saying something like, I don't dwell on the past, but I also don't ignore it. If there is something real to address, let's be direct about it. Because if you're texting me or calling me, we need to know that there are certain things that need to be addressed before we can go anywhere else from this. So if you're willing to discuss those things, then by all means, let's have a conversation. Let's text. But if you're not willing to address those things, then let's leave it alone. Okay? It puts the responsibility back on her. It lets her know that, listen, we're not going to bypass the things that you just spoke about. We're not going to bypass the actions that you did. I haven't forgotten them. All right. It also keeps you in control. You're not reaching emotionally. You're not reacting emotionally. You're not becoming this emotional being that loses their frame. You're leading that conversation. You're letting them know what you desire and what you need. And you're not afraid to say it. And in my particular case, when I actually said my piece, I also addressed some of the past issues. And I said, that's not how it plays out. That's not what it was. That's what it was. This is what it was. I was very proud of myself, to be honest, that conversation. Right. I let her know what it was. The only part that I think I failed on is when she offered the olive branch of friendship. And I should have said, no, it's not necessary. You can live your life. And actually, after that conversation, it showed why I should have said no. Because when I said, the only reason I said to her, if you're going to be friends, then you have to let you know that I expect X, Y, and Z. I expect consistency. I expect conversation. And the person said, yeah, sure. It's been almost how long? A year? We ain't seen that. And the reason why we ain't seen that is because the person was never sincere about what they were actually wanting to change. They didn't want to change. They were assuaging their guilt. Okay. And they were trying to avoid accountability, but we held them to accountable. But they were trying to assuage their guilt at the time. They wanted to make sure that if we're peaceable, we're good, so that they don't feel bad, right? But they're wasting your time and wasting your energy. So how do you handle someone ghosting you? Well, let them know, listen, that if they want to come back, there are stipulations to coming back. You now hold the power, not them. They must play by your rules. They're the one coming back with their tail tucked between their legs. Do not let them have the power by playing their game. Let them know that before you get into anything, you're about to address these key issues that were not addressed when you last spoke. Look, I want you guys to win. So I want you to learn how to handle mixed signals and manipulation, which is what it was, with confidence. I want you to join my coaching program. Reason why? Because I want to help teach you navigate dating dynamics. And if you don't need a coaching, then turn up for week 6, because these videos are free and they are amazing. And we get to have fun. I appreciate you. Listen, stay locked, stay loaded. We'll see each other again in week 6, where we do our final installment of this series. Look, these tests, women are always going to test. Not all, but these particular women are always going to test. And you need to pass it.